Hello friends, those back pages here. I hope you're well. Welcome to the Day 4 recap of the 2025 National here in Rosemont, Illinois, aka Chicago. This will be the last recap of the series as I am traveling tomorrow night back home. I can't believe I just had to say that. I'll be traveling back home tomorrow. In 24 hours, I should be home. Damn. Well, it's been a great week. I've seen a lot of friends, done a lot of talking, done very little buying. So it is what it is. When you do have yourself a budget and you budget for yourself for a series of cards, you target 3 cards and don't find any of them. Happens. Not the first person that's happened to. It won't be the last. But at the top of my list was a 1952 Topps Willie Mays in a PSA 1 that looks comparable to my Mantle and my Jackie Robinson. Second on the list was a 1987 Donruss Opening Day Barry Bonds Error, a card that they put on Johnny Ray on instead of Barry Bonds. The third card that I've had on my want list for the show this year was a 1969 Topps Mickey Mantle white letter variation. That will fit in nicely with my current phase of collecting parallels to a player's last Topps card. And last, but certainly not least, as many Topps Blacks that I could find to purchase. I'm not sure which of the 4 that I was not able to obtain is the most surprising. I go back and forth on that, and I'm guessing that the most surprising would be the Topps Blacks. Then again, I expect to see at least a handful of 69 Topps white and leather mantles. I did certainly see a lot of 1952 Topps Willie Mays PSA 1s and SGCs, but they were all stereotypical ones, and that's not going to cut it for me. So hopefully next year I will be able to score that card, the Mays. In the meantime, I can probably hunt the other 2, and certainly will be hunting for Topps Blacks probably as soon as I hit stop on tonight's video. I did make a couple of pickups today, and because of having said budget and not finding anything, that often leads to questionable decisions. You know, we've got this hobby funds. We've got these hobby funds that are in your pocket. So you start to look at other things, because that's a big thing to do at the National. You see things you didn't know you wanted until you saw them. Well, today's first pickup is something that I've had on and off the radar for a while, mostly off, because it's not what I would consult. This is not a cheap card by any means. It is from 2013 BBM Shohei Ohtani. It's the first version, first edition. This is called first version. I'm not even going to bother taking this out of the baggie because lighting. But this was his very first professional card, released in 2013. So happy to have that in the collection. As you know, I'm a big fan of Shorty. I do kind of miss my stands. So yesterday I picked this up and I had shown it off. This is the 2018 Pacific Kramer's Choice case hit Mariners uniform, Ken Griffey Jr. die cut, shiny. Some texture to there, you can see there, texture. Not numbered. So, I said, well, that's the 98, right? Let me go ahead and grab the 97. So this is the 1997 Pacific Kramer's Choice. Ken Griffey Jr., same deal. Shiny texture, die cut, Griffey, Mariners. As Dom likes to say, it checks all the boxes. So very happy to have that shiny. When this one I had yesterday, so I bought that one and then I bought that one and was very pleased. It was a productive buying day as far as that went. And I went about my business, talking to people, taking photos, sharing stories, saying goodbyes. That's always the crappy part of Saturday day at the show, because a lot of my friends go back to the real world tomorrow to rest up for more real world on Monday. So I got it in my head that, well, you know, like I said, having all those hobby funds in your pocket that you decided, you know, you had set aside ready to use on those cards that you wanted, and you're at the National and those cards don't show up, you start to make what some might call questionable decisions. So I went ahead and added one more of each of the 97 and 98 Pacific Kramer's Choice Ken Griffey Jr. As you may or may not know, I would hope by now you would know, I like dupes. I like dupes, I like triplets, I like quadruplets, I like whatever the saying is for fives. I don't mind. I find the card that I like, and I like to own copies. I feel these Kramer's Choice Ken Griffey Jr.'s are fairly underappreciated for what they are. Case hit from a product from the 90s. We all know how the 90s roll now. And I talked to the gentleman who I purchased all four of these from, the same gentleman, and asked him, you know, we chewed the fat for a bit because I was picking his mind on this. I don't claim to be any kind of Pacific expert or 90s expert for that matter. But it was nice to talk to him about it. A very nice guy, and that helps when making purchases. You know, that street ran both ways. He gave me a steep discount after buying the first two. And I am contemplating picking up a 96. It is not nearly as cheap as the 97 and 98, being totally honest. So we'll see. I could rage buy one or two tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. See how I'm feeling, see what's going on. Maybe I'll run across a card on my list initially and I won't have to worry about that. So I do have a few clips for you guys, not too much. It's funny, I was talking to some couple of dudes at the vintage trade night, and they went ahead and we were talking about, you know, taking pictures and all that good stuff, you know, at the national, and we all agreed how, you know, it starts off full-heartedly and wholeheartedly and decreases a little with each passing day. So today is no exception. Maybe tomorrow I'll be more inspired to take some more video for the next time I get in touch with you guys. So until then, I hope to see some of you tomorrow, and enjoy the clips. It's 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. Here in the back room. Initially, 2 years ago, people said, I don't want to be in the back room. Nobody's going there. They're going there. It is crowded already. Wow. Great night. Friday night. Oh, Saturday night. Excuse me.
These are I upgraded my sets, so these are all upgraded, so I have no emotional attachment to them. It's just whatever they're at. Yeah. Only the actual active
Have the Wolves of Finest. I just stopped. Yep.
But you're not.
I'm not interested.